Hi, so today's module is all about our breath and the quality of our breath. So our breath is so powerful in our body. So it can calm our mind, it can calm our nervous system, and it can really help to soothe, calm anxiety, and help with so many different things in our bodies. It can help to stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system and really calm our body. So it does that. It can actually impact our vagus nerve, which is one of those main streams that runs down our body. And I know we've talked about that with some of our gut modules as well. So I really want to offer you a couple of different practices today. So the first is just taking nice, long, slow, mindful breaths. Now this is something you can do when you're out and about during your everyday activities. So whether that be going for a walk, whether that be sitting at your desk, whatever that might be. So that is simply just sitting there taking nice, deep, mindful breaths. If you like, you can bring one hand to your chest and the other hand to your belly and sense where your breath is. So I always like to think of bringing my breath all the way down into the bottom part of my lungs, so all the way down here in my belly. So making sure if I've got one hand up on my chest and one up on my belly, making sure that breath is actually moving that bottom hand as well as the top hand, or actually probably moving that bottom hand more than the top hand. So if our breath is shallow and really up in the top section of our lungs, you'll really notice that top hand might be moving more than the bottom hand, and you'll feel those hands moving sort of in and out as you breathe. So really sense what hand is moving. And I like to really think of that bottom hand, or try and make that bottom hand move more than that top hand when I've got my hand in this type of position. Doesn't really matter which way around you've got your hands, one on the belly, one on the chest. So that's the first one. If it helps, you can actually count the breath. So count the breath in and count out for the same count. So you'd say breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and then out for 1, 2, 3. And you can continue that breath for that same count. So you count in for the count of 2 or 3 or 4, and then out for the count of 2 or 3 or 4. The second technique that I'd like to offer you is box breathing. Now this is where we take a little hold at both the top and the bottom. So we'd breathe in for the count of 3, say. In for 3, 2, 1, and then we'd hold for the count of 3, 2, 1. Then breathe out for the count of 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Out. 3, 2, 1. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In, hold, out, hold. So that's another technique. Now, box breathing is actually used by a lot of military people. So some of those soldiers who get into really stressful situations, they actually use box breathing to help them stay calm in some of those really stressful situations. So that's another technique that is really, really useful. And the third technique I'd like to offer you is we do this in yoga classes, so I guess you would call it a pranayama. So it's called alternate nostril breathing. Now this is good for really balancing out the left and right sides of our brain, or the masculine and feminine, depending on what sort of route you want to run down. Whether you like to go for, say, that masculine and feminine type energy, or whether you think sort of left and right hemispheres of the brain. So all that is simply using 2 fingers to close off one nostril, breathing in on one side, and then changing. So what we do, I like to bring 2 fingers to my forehead, and that really helps to give me something to focus on there. So to center my attention. And then I'll bring my thumb onto one nostril, and then I'll bring my ring finger onto the other nostril. So it'll be something like this. So a thumb onto one nostril, So in my case, I've got my left hand and my thumb is on my left nostril. And then when I change, I'll bring my left ring finger onto my right nostril. So all I'm going to do, bring my attention to that point on my forehead, and then I'm going to breathe in for a nice long breath in. I might hold for a moment at the top, then I'll change nostrils, breathe out on the other side. Breathe in on that same side. In my case, it's my left nostril. And then I'll change before I breathe out. Breathing out on my right. Breathe in on my right. Change, breathe out. Breathe in on the same side. Change before I breathe out. In, out on my left, in on my left, out on my right, in on my right, out left, in left, out right, in right, out left. And so that is our alternate nostril breathing, and you can continue that for up to a couple of minutes if that feels good. So those are 3 different breathing techniques that you can use to really help to calm your body. So another little bonus one that I will offer here as well is your breath of fire, which can really help to warm the body and help you feel more energized and powerful as well. So our breath of fire is a really sharp exhale and inhale. So we really drive that from the belly. So this one might be a little bit harder to get. So I like to bring my hands to my belly. Big deep breath in and out. So we'll take a couple of big deep breaths to start off with. So big deep breath in and out. One more big deep breath in and out. Big deep breath in and then a sharp exhale and a rebound to inhale. So we like this. Inhale. So really sharp exhales, using your belly muscles to really sharp exhale. So your belly's pushing that air out. We do that through the nostrils, and it might start to dislodge a few things up around your throat and your nasal passages, particularly if you've been a bit congested. So you just take that for a couple of breaths and then you would do another round. So inhale. And so on. So that is your breath of fire. So that can really help to warm the body and help you feel more energized. So just a couple little breathing techniques so that you can use to calm the body and also to feel more energized and alive. So obviously the breath of fire, you would use that in the morning to help you feel more energized. And the other calming type breaths, I would use those more in the evening to help you relax, or whenever you feel a bit stressed, to help calm and nourish the body and mind. Thank you. I look forward to hearing your thoughts.